Alright, I'm going to make this quick video explaining the sliding scales that we were talking about. And basically what you're doing is you're taking I'm going to demonstrate everything in the Phrygian box. You're taking a two-string shape. So here's the straight, we'll use A Phrygian. Here's the straight A Phrygian pentatonic shape, at least what I call the Phrygian pentatonic shape. So if you take just the two strings on the low E and the high A, or the low E and the A, and then you take them and you slide them up in octaves. So the first two strings are just 5/8, 5/8, just like that. And then you go down on the D string, and you're on the 5 again, and then you slide up, and then you repeat the shape again. And then you, same thing, slide up. So. Just gives you a different sound. Just gives you a little bit of a different sound. Another way you can do the exercise is run the sliding shape down to the high E. So when you get to the high E, then you can run up the pentatonic box. In this case, you're in the D minor pentatonic box. So that's just a little exercise that'll help you kind of maneuver over the fretboard a little bit. So you go sliding shape, up the box, down the box, back to the sliding shape. So that's that. And I usually play them starting from the 6th string and with the root on the 5th string. So it changes just a little bit when you do the 5th string one. So here's the same, starting from A, doing the Phrygian shape. And then if you do this one just happens to go where you just, when you run it back up the scale, you end up just being in the Phrygian box again, except you end up with it on the 6th string. So start on the 5th string A. Oh, sorry. So that's just a little exercise. And then those same shapes can be applied to the diatonic box. So if you look at the Phrygian diatonic box, starting from A, at least what I call the Phrygian diatonic box, it goes... With the sliding shape, you just take the first two strings. And then when you get to the next string, you just play the first note and then slide it out. Okay. In this case, when you run it back up, you're going to end up, you just skip a position. So it goes Phrygian, Lydian, and then Mixolydian. So when I'm down here on the high E, I'll end up in the Mixolydian box. So. There you go. And then you can do the same thing on the high A, or on the high A, on the low A. So 6th string root, and then 5th string root. So here's a. There's just a straight your sliding. And then when you start on the 5th string, what you end up is you end up one box back. So in this case, you're going to start in the Phrygian sliding shape, and then when you get down here on the high E, you're going to be in the Dorian. You're going to be in the Dorian box. So. I'm not very fluid with those because it's just a little exercise I just barely came up with. But anyways, that's the concept behind what I call the sliding scales. And you can do it with any box. So if you want to do A major, you just take the first 2 string shapes, the shape of the first 2 strings in the Ionian box. So just 579, 579. And then go to the next one. I think of it as in Ionian is it's a major mode, so I think of it as I'm sliding a major 7. So just a half step there, and I'm back at A. And then I just run the shape again. I can do it with Mixolydian, which is it's a major mode, but the 7th in it is a minor 7. So there's the flat 7 of the Mixolydian. So you can do that with any mode. There's minor and a Locrian. And you can do that in all the pentatonic boxes and all the diatonic boxes. It's just, for me, it's just a good way to quickly be able to run through my sliding scales and my box shapes. And it opens up the fretboard because you start out on the 5th fret and you end up way down, up on the 10th. It just totally gets you around out of that box thinking. And if you learn the shape on the 6th string with the root and on the 5th string with the root, that'll pretty much cover any shape you'd want to be in. That'll, between the 6th string and the 5th string, that'll cover all the A's in there that you could possibly start from. So every A on the neck is going to be covered in those 2 shapes. So wherever you are on the neck, if you know you're in A major and you're on an A, play your sliding shape easily. Just helps me get around the fretboard a little bit, or at least that's the theory behind it. My theory anyways. Alright, if you have any questions, you know how to get a hold of me.